What a sports nut, huh?
Hello! Welcome back to Coffee and Trailers. I'm Warith, and in honor of the start of football season, I decided to do my top 5 all-time favorite football movies. Now, as you can see, I'm a Buccaneers fan, and despite being from Oakland and my mom being a Raiderette, I just grew up not liking the Raiders. I'm an original Buccaneers fan. You're talking Mike Allstott, Ward Dunn, Brad Elbow Pad Johnson, Keyshawn Johnson, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice, Joe Juravicious. Old school Bucs fan. But before I get into that, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you can check out my weekly videos of Coffee and Trailers. Now, the movie that's going to get an honorable mention, and that's just because it flip-flops between my 5th favorite movie and my 6th favorite movie, is going to be Little Giants, starring the legendary Ed O'Neill and Rick Moranis. And this movie was the whole reason I started playing football. From Hot Hands Hannon, who couldn't catch anything but toilet paper, and he had to imagine that football as a toilet paper, to Spike carrying that refrigerator out of the U-Haul, to those infamous Dallas Cowboy jerseys. Those would have to be the best away jerseys I've ever seen. And then you got Icebox, Noah Marion. She was the baddest player in the movie. She was running over everybody wearing that 56.
Now we can run the annexation of Puerto Rico.
What's the annexation of Puerto Rico?
Well, I don't know if we're quite ready for that.
And the annexation of Puerto Rico will always have a special place in my heart. Number 5 is going to be Varsity Blues. Now, football's just different in Texas. And the thing that really made this movie special for me were a lot of the characters that they had. And getting John Voight to play Bud Kilmer, who's probably the most hated coach on this list, was just classic.
Makes me wonder if you know the difference between a sneeze and a wet fart. You're gonna be second string all your life, boy.
And then we also lost 2 actors that was in this movie, with Paul Walker, who played Lance Harbor, R.I.P., and then Ron Lester, who played Billy Bob, R.I.P. And if you played football, you had a Charlie Tweeter on your team. Who can forget the infamous whipped cream bikini, made famous by Ali Larter? And let me tell you, I still, to this day, do not forgive you, Jonathan Moxon, for turning her down in that whipped cream bikini. Now, most people are not going to agree with me on this one. My number 4 is going to be Remember the Titans. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Put your hand down.
Oh my God, it was such a good movie. It has Denzel.
Football is still fun.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes. No.
No?
Sir. Well, it was fun.
Not anymore, though, is it? Is it?
No, not by
No.
now.
And I get it. But despite having the better storyline out of all the movies on here, when an all-white school and all-black school must now integrate and come together and now settle their differences on the football field.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
I get it. Good storyline. Best storyline out of all the movies on here. But it doesn't deliver for me in the football scenes.
You really stuck him, Campbell.
Yeah, I love me a little contact, Petey.
Left side.
We have Gary Bertier, played by Ryan Hurst.
Wrong side.
Left side.
Wrong side.
Left side.
Wrong side.
And then we have Julius Campbell, played by Wood Harris. Now, their relationship throughout the entire movie is what made the movie to me. And I felt like these 2 characters were the heart of Remember the Titans.
Don't you see the family resemblance? That's my brother.
And they aren't even my favorite linebacking duo on this list. My number 3 is going to be The Program. And most people haven't seen The Program, and if you haven't, I would recommend going to go check it out whenever you have time. The program gives us a deep dive into college football in the 90s, from steroid use.
I think we ought to tell Coach.
To cheating on exams.
Who cares? I flunked 3 times before I got in.
As long as you in the program, they'll get you through. Maybe.
To receiving money from boosters, to all kinds of NCAA violations.
Not live on no $500 a month scholarship money. And the NCAA assholes won't let us have jobs.
Now, what really made this movie special to me is that living in Oakland, my dad was a cop. And the movie theaters would get off-duty police officers to do security there. And I would just roll to him to work and stay there all day watching movies. And the program was one of the movies I saw 4 or 5 different times as a kid. Now, there was a scene that was deleted from the program that they didn't show in theaters. And it took about 10, 15 years after it came out to be able to catch it on the internet. And this scene of them all laying down in the street as the cars are driving by, somebody tried it during the time in real life and got hit by a car. My favorite 2 characters in this movie would have to be linebackers Alvin Mack.
What? You're the guy who shot my mother, aren't you? Shut up, man. You knew I never knew your mother.
And Steve Latimer. Now, Alvin Mack was just a monster on the field.
I'm gonna make you my filming.
Mayday! Mayday!
You're gonna have 250 pounds of pissed off.
And then we have Steve Latimer, who's just all roided up, who was a bench player his junior year, and then spent the offseason gaining 35 pounds and getting all roided up.
Yeah! Yeah, baby! Starting defense!
Number 2 is going to be Friday Night Lights, a true story of the 1988 Permian Panthers of Odessa, Texas. Now, what really makes this movie good and sets it up at number 2 is that all these characters in the movie are actually real people. And this movie gave me my second favorite football character in a movie.
God made Booby beautiful, black and strong.
His mouth keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And when Booby knocks on food,
Booby Miles, played by Derek Luke. And Booby Miles was an actual person. And if you want to win...
Y'all want to win? Put Booby in. I'm about to spin. Come on, coach.
You better put Booby in. He's ready to spin, coach. And Billy Bob Thornton as Coach Gaines, he does a really good job at playing the head coach. Now, I don't listen to too much Tim McGraw music, but I really thought that Friday Night Lights put him on as an actor, as he plays Charles Billingsley, a local legend who won state, who's now an alcoholic living vicariously through his son, Don Billingsley. Friday Night Lights was so good, it spawned a TV show that gave us 5 really good seasons. And Kyle Chandler as Coach Eric Taylor did a better job than Billy Bob Thornton.
Listen to me. You ever touch one of my players again, you will never coach.
And it gave us memorable characters like quarterback Jason Street, awkward Matt Saracen, Smash Williams, who was probably the closest to Booby Miles that we're going to get, Tim Riggins. And then the last 2 seasons, we got a not-so-famous Michael B. Jordan playing Vince Howard. My number 1 favorite football movie of all time is going to be Any Given Sunday. And I know what you're thinking. Any Given Sunday doesn't have a better storyline than Remember the Titans or Friday Night Lights. But Any Given Sunday gives us everything we want from a football movie. From the head coach, played by Al Pacino, Tony D'Amato. And Tony D'Amato gave the most legendary halftime speech you'll ever hear about inches.
When you start losing stuff, you find out life's this game of inches. So is football.
We have Willie Beeman.
Hey, come on. My name is Willie.
Steamin' Willie Beeman, played by Jamie Foxx. And how could you not appreciate Steamin' Willie Beeman? He was Pat Mahomes before there was a Pat Mahomes. He was doing Lamar Jackson shit before Lamar Jackson. You could even say that he was busting moves before Michael Vick was busting moves. And Any Given Sunday gave us the best off-screen fight that you'll ever hear about. And it's hilariously told by Bill Bellamy.
This was when Jamie Foxx got knocked out.
And I would definitely check out Bill Bellamy's full story of it, but to give you a quick, shortened up version, so finally Jamie Foxx had enough, and he cold clocked LL Cool J without a helmet on. And LL Cool J was like, "Did you really hit me, son? Did you just really punch me in the face, son?" What LL Cool J did was he caught Jamie slipping. He lifted his helmet up.
And immediately, boom!
And according to Bill Bellamy,
Jamie is knocked the fuck out, bro. Like, literally, like.
Any Given Sunday gave us Luther LeVay, played by the legendary Lawrence Taylor. Now, the only way to see this scene is if you have the uncut version of Any Given Sunday. And in the final game in Dallas, some guy gets his eyeball taken out and it's on the field. Oh, and for those reasons, that is why Any Given Sunday is my #1 football movie of all time. So what did you think of my top 5? Do you agree with my top 5? Do you disagree with my top 5? Won't you go ahead, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your top 5 favorite football movies are. And as always, until next time.
Freeze, Pete. Can't nobody tell me ain't that guy. I'm back to the future, boy. I'm McFly.